Hi and welcome. So in this assignment, we are going to be going back to Google Sheets again, but we're just going to be doing some review examples for this. You notice I am sitting in my car. I am looking for a calf that has got out, so I'm going to sit here and show you guys how to do Google Sheets while I wait for a missing calf. So the first thing you're going to do is on the first tab, on the Welcome tab, you're just going to go ahead and put in your name, your email, your period, class period, and the date. I have already filled in my information for you. Let's see if I can adjust that. And then you're going to go to step 1. So along the bottom is your tabs, and those are your steps. We're just going to be doing some basic things. So on step 1, anything in turquoise is pretty much going to be information for you to read. And typically everything you're going to do would be in yellow. So we're going to go through here. This is a spreadsheet. It can do some pretty cool things, and let's practice. A spreadsheet can organize data. You can try typing things into cells. Also, try making the column widths wider and the row heights taller. So we're going to do that as practice. To do this, it says you're going to hover your mouse in between the letters on the top columns or between the numbers on the left rows. When the arrow changes, you can hold down the mouse to increase the row height or width. And we are going to do this to a couple columns, or at least one column and one row. So up here, I put my mouse, I get the two-headed arrow. I'm going to hold down, if you're using a mouse, you're going to hold down your mouse button. If you're not, I'm going to try and show you guys. There we go. I'm going to click here, and then that's going to change. And that is like holding down my mouse. So then I can drag to make my column wider. There you can see I just did column C. So if I wanted to come down here and pick a row, I put my mouse on there, get the two-headed arrow, then I'm going to click down with this finger, the bottom left corner, and drag, and that will make that row taller. Okay, so we have done that step. Get back adjusted here. So the next thing I want you to do is to try typing in at least 5 different cells. So just any of these blank cells, type anything you want. You can type your name, you can type a color, whatever you want, just type into 5 different cells. And we've already done the row and a column. Then you can go to step 2. On step 2, we are going to name our cells. So every place that there is a box on our spreadsheet, it is called a cell. We're going to type the name for the cell by listing the letter of the column. Columns are listed across the top and they go up and down. And the row, which are listed on the side, and they go across like the rows in a stadium. So we're just going to practice naming them. So if I'm clicked here in this yellow box, I can see that that's a C and a 6. So I'm just going to type C6. Press enter. You should get the word excellent. You guys may not on yours for this cell because it was already done for you. But you're just going to go ahead and do the same thing on all these. Whenever you get the answer right, it should say excellent. If it's wrong, it will probably say try again. Okay, then let's go to step 2. And by the way, guys, you can pause the video. Here would be a great place to pause it. Go ahead and do step 1. Then start your video again when you're ready to do step 2. So step 2. Oh, sorry, that was step 2. Step 3. Okay, in this one, we're going to be doing the formulas. And that is what spreadsheets are great at, is that they will do the math for you. So you don't have to worry about how to do the math, like pulling out your calculator. In order for Excel or Google Sheets to know that you're doing a math problem or an equation, all you have to do is put an equal sign in front of it. So I'm just going to double click to get inside my cell, move to make sure my cursor is at the very front here, and I'm just going to type the equal sign because the equal sign is what tells, oops, I typed plus. The equals, see if I can get this right here, equal sign. The equal sign is what tells a spreadsheet that you're ready to do math. So all I did was type the equal sign here, and you can see that it's already giving me a preview of the answer. Make sure whenever you double click in there, you don't delete what's already there. You're just going to put the equal sign in front. I press enter, and it's going to result with the answer and tell me great job. So I want you to go ahead and do the other 2 boxes. And then whenever you're done, go to step 4. Okay, here we are on step 4. In this one, we're going to do basically the same thing we just did, except we're going to type the entire formula. So it gives us an example here. In the first box, we're going to write our own formula, and it tells us for an example what to type. Now, whenever you get to these 3, you're going to make up your own numbers, and you can change whether you want to multiply, add, divide, subtract. So I just have to type equal 4 times, the times is an asterisk, and the asterisk is above the 8, so it's shift 8, and then 5 plus 9. So I've got equal 4 times 5 plus 9, equal 4 times 5 plus 9. I press enter, and it's going to give me an answer now. If you are seeing your formula there, you have done something wrong. So make sure that whenever you do it, that you always get an answer in here. And so you're going to make up the numbers and make up your math equation for these. You need to have at least 3 different numbers in your equation. When you are done, you can actually view your formulas instead of viewing the answers. To do that, you're going to go to View, Show Formula, and it's going to show the formula. Oops. And then to turn that off, I'm just going to click anywhere again, and I'm going to go to View and Show Formulas to turn it off. Okay. When you're done with those, go ahead and go to step 5. I don't know where that came from. Okay. All right, on step 5, we're going to this time use cell referencing. Cell referencing is what really makes a spreadsheet magical, because cell referencing means that it doesn't matter what our numbers are, it is just going to look to the cell. So for this example, it's going to say, okay, take B4. What's in B4? That's a 6. And we're going to add that to C4. That's a 2. And then we're going to add that to D4, which is a 9. So the great thing about using cell references is we're just telling the formula where to look for the number that it wants to put into the formula. This is great because later on we can change these numbers and it will automatically update our formulas for us. And then we would get the correct answers. The other way this is great is that if you're doing, like, say, a budget or something like a payroll that you would do every week, you can set your formulas all up one time, and then the next time all you have to do is change your numbers and it's going to change all of your answers for you. So that's how it is so beneficial. So for this one, it says in the yellow cells, we're going to notice the formula referencing these cells. They don't have the equal sign in front of them, so we're going to double click, and we need to put our equal sign in front of that one. I'm going to press enter. Okay, it should give me an answer. Perfect. So you're going to go ahead and do the other 3. Just put the equal sign in front. When you get done, you're going to come up here and you're going to change those 3 numbers. So you can pick whatever number you want. Just going to go with an 8 and a 4 and a 10. And you can see every time I'm doing that, it's changing the answer that's here. Okay. So once you get your formulas done, go ahead and change those numbers and make sure that your answers change with you. Okay, and then you can go to the next step. The lighting's not very good here. I think we're ready for step 6. Okay, step 6 is we're going to merge cells. So remember, to merge cells means you're going to bring, whenever you merge, you bring 2 things into one. So like if you are on a highway and you have 2 lanes and they're going to come to one, that's called merging. So we're going to merge these cells into one big box. To do that, I'm going to highlight the entire yellow area. Oops, I must have bumped it. Click on the first one, go down, and then go all the way down to the bottom. Okay, they're all highlighted now. Then And to highlight, again, let me show you how I did that. I'll start over. So I click in the first cell. I'm going to hold down with my mouse button, or if I'm on my Chromebook, I'm going to use the bottom left corner. I'm going to drag across and then drag all the way down to the bottom to get all those highlighted. Then I can release everything. Okay, then I'm going to come up to the top and I'm going to click the Merge Cells button. It's right here. It has the two arrows pointing at each other. Now I have one big box. Get my Chromebook moved back around. Okay. So now it says, once that is done, you're going to type your name. So just type your name into your box. Okay, whenever I press enter, it moves it to the bottom left corner. That's okay. Once you're done, go to step 7. We are moving right along here. So on this one, it says it's important to clearly communicate your ideas. Spreadsheets can help you organize your thoughts and information. One way to do this is to use the borders icon. So we're going to be using the borders to create, like here we have, this is called like a T account or a T chart. You're going to create a single underline under the word height and then under the word width, and then we'll have a single line that goes all the way between them. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on height and drag through width. Now I'm using that finger on the left bottom corner again on my pad, and I'm going to come up here to the border button, which looks kind of like a window pane. I'm going to click on it, and I want to click the one with the bottom border. If you wanted to change the style or the color, you could do that over here and then click on it. But we're fine with black, so I'm just going to click. There we go. Next, I want to add a line between them. So I can either highlight the width column or the height column. I'm going to do width. And then I'm going to come back to border. And this time I want to make a left border. Okay, and we're done with that step. We did that one all together. Now let's go to step 8. Okay, for step 8, the text you type does not always fit in the cell. Use the wrapping icon to wrap or unwrap text. By default, the text is in overflow. Overflow means that even though it doesn't fit in the cell, it's going to go all the way over through the other cells unless there's something there. So it's going to overflow across until something stops it. So we're going to choose the middle option to wrap the text. Wrap it means it's going to just wrap above itself, like this up here is wrapped. So we're going to click on this where it says click the cell to select it, then click the text wrap icon to have all the text show in this cell. So the text wrap icon, you can see it looks like this one. So we're just going to come up to it. Hold on a second.